Our family is huge 49ers fans. And when we made the playoffs, we really wanted to go to a game, but knew that the tickets were really expensive. So we called up one of our friends who we knew had season passes, and he offered 2 of the seats for free because he wasn't going to that game. We bought the 2 seats right next to him. Luckily, he knew those people as well. And those were about $300 each. So basically, we got 2 free tickets, bought 2, and then the planning started. How are we going to make the flights work? Even hotel. Now that is how this whole thing began. I need to tell you about this trip. We flew our whole family to San Francisco, 4 round-trip flights, stayed at the Hyatt House, explored the city, ate good food, did all the tourist things, and the flights paid for with points. The hotel paid by points. And every time I say that, someone looks at me like I either hacked something illegal or I'm secretly in a massive credit card debt. But it's neither. So I want to walk you through how this actually works. Not the flashy Instagram version, the real version, the disciplined version, the investor version. Because this isn't about free travel, it's about leverage. Ever since I started hanging around in different circles with big dreamers, big doers, multimillionaires, and just people that never give up, I knew that this was something meant to be. So then I started thinking, okay, not, it's too expensive or, we can't do it, but how do we do it? How do we cut our expenses? How do we get a good deal? And that's when the credit cards came into play. I did not grow up knowing about credit card points. I grew up hearing, don't use credit cards and debt is bad, period. And listen, that advice isn't wrong. If you can't control your spending, credit cards will absolutely control you. But at some point, I realized something. We're already spending money every single month: groceries, gas, insurance, utilities, business expenses, travel for conferences, kids' activities, which really adds up. Thousands of dollars moving every month, whether we liked it or not. And most people swipe their debit card and get, nothing. No rewards, no leverage, no return. As an investor, that started bothering me. If I'm teaching people to make their money work for them, then why wouldn't I let our everyday expenses sit there doing nothing? That's when we started learning how to use points strategically. First things first, this only works if you pay it off. Let me be very clear. If you carry balances, this is not for you. If you justify purchases because I'm earning points, please stop. Points are never worth paying interest. We treat our credit cards like debit cards with benefits. Everything gets paid off in full every single month. No exceptions. That's the rule in our house. Because once you pay interest, the game flips and the banks win. So let's talk about this specific trip. We booked 4 round-trip tickets to San Francisco completely on points. We didn't swipe our card and hope for the best. We planned this. A big chunk of those points came from welcome bonuses. This is where most people underestimate the power of credit cards. When you open a travel card, there's usually a welcome bonus if you spend a certain amount within a set time frame. But here's the key. We don't spend extra to hit that bonus. We planned around expenses we already have. Maybe it's insurance that's due. Maybe it's property taxes, business inventory. Maybe it's travel for another event. We look at our calendar and go, okay, what bills are coming up that can go on this card? That's how we hit the required spend responsibly. Once those points post, now we're sitting on a chunk of travel currency. So when it came time to book our San Francisco trip, we transferred points and covered all 4 flights. We paid small taxes and fees, but not the ticket price. Then the hotel. We stayed at the Hyatt House. I love Hyatt for redemptions. The value per point usually is solid compared to just booking randomly through the portal. So instead of dropping thousands between flights and hotels, we kept the cash in our accounts. That money stayed available for investing. That's the part people miss. This isn't about taking cute trips, it's about protecting your cash. As real estate investors, liquidity matters. Opportunities pop up fast. A deal comes, a private lending opportunity shows up, a tax auction property becomes available. If all your cash is tied up in lifestyle spending, you can't move quickly. Using points for travel allows us to experience life and enjoy it and still keep our capital ready. That's leverage. And as someone who's raised millions of dollars for deals and thinks consistently about capital efficiency, I see points as another tool, not a gimmick. but a tool. Another thing I get asked all the time, isn't this bad for your credit? Actually, when done correctly, it can improve it. Your payment history stays strong because you're paying on time. Your utilization stays low because you're not carrying over balances. Your available credit increases, but again, with discipline. If you're maxing credit cards out and carrying balances, that's a different story. This works because we treat it like a system. We're not opening up 10 different cards a year. We are strategic. We typically have a flexible travel card that earns transferable points like Chase, an airline card when it makes sense like Southwest with their companion pass, a hotel card like Hyatt for specific redemptions. We track everything, and yes, I have a spreadsheet. Dates open, minimum spend, annual fees, points balance. It sounds intense, but once it's set up, it runs smoothly, just like building a real estate portfolio. At first, it feels complicated. Then it just becomes a system. If you're watching this and thinking, okay, this sounds interesting, but overwhelming, here's what I tell you. Start with one card, just one. Pick a strong travel card with a good welcome bonus. Map out how you'll hit the minimum spend using expenses you already have. Put everything on that one card and pay it off in full every single month. Watch the points stack, then plan a small trip. Prove to yourself it works. Once you see it in action, your confidence builds and you start looking at your spending differently. I don't do this just to say we traveled for free. I do this because I want my kids to see us living smartly. I want them to understand leverage. And I want them to see that money is a tool. When we were walking around San Francisco, exploring, eating, laughing, going to a 49ers game, I wasn't stressed about what the trip costs. I wasn't thinking about a big credit card bill coming up. I knew it was already accounted for. That piece feels differently. And if you can teach them how to create that same flexibility, I'm going to do it. If you want me to break down exactly which cards we use for this trip and the actual math behind the points, comment travel below and I'll make that video next. And if you're into learning how to use money strategically, whether that's through real estate, private lending, or even something as simple as credit card points, make sure you like and subscribe because the goal isn't just to make money, it's to use it smarter. And sometimes that starts with something as simple as how you swipe your card.